My girlfriend of 5 years looked me dead in the eye and said, "I'm not attracted to you anymore. I need an alpha." I didn't argue. I didn't beg. I just said, "I understand." What she didn't know was that the promotion she was helping her new alpha boyfriend get at work was already mine. And when she saw me walk into the corner office on Monday morning, her face went completely pale. Because I wasn't just her ex anymore. I was her new boss. Tina and I had been together for 5 years. We lived together, loved together, or at least I thought we did. She sat me down on my own couch in the living room of my house and started her little speech, the kind of speech you can tell someone practiced in the mirror. She said she loved me as a person, but wasn't in love with me anymore, that she felt something was missing. Then she hit me with the dagger. "David, I'm just not attracted to you anymore. I need a real alpha, someone who takes charge, a true leader." The insult was so sharp it almost made me laugh. Not out of anger, but clarity. I've never been the loudest guy in the room. I don't flex, I don't boast, and I don't dominate conversations. I lead by competence, not noise. I fix problems, build systems that last, and take pride in quiet confidence. Apparently, she saw that as weakness. I didn't say a word. I just waited because I could tell there was more. That's when she confessed she'd been getting close to someone else, a guy named Chad. For context, we all work at the same engineering firm. I'm a senior systems architect. Tina's a project manager. And Chad? He's a senior sales strategist. The loud, slick, overconfident type who calls himself an alpha without irony. Flashy suits, big talk, no real depth. Tina started going on about his drive, his vision, and then she revealed the real reason for this little confession. A new position had opened up at the company, Director of Strategic Integration, a huge leadership role that would oversee all 3 of our departments. And guess who she said was the top candidate? Chad. She admitted she'd been feeding him information, insider details from her side of project management, to help him impress senior management. She was practically glowing, saying this promotion would be their launch pad. Her new power couple dream. I just sat there, listening. And when she was done, I looked at her and said calmly, "I understand." She mistook my composure for surrender, told me she'd stay a week or 2 until she found a new place. I just nodded. What she didn't know was that a month earlier, senior management had already approached me for that same role. They had doubts about Chad. He was all flash, no follow-through. His big ideas always ended up being technically impossible, and my team had to clean up the mess every time. The senior vice president, Marcus, pulled me aside. "You're not the loudest, David, but you understand how everything fits together. You deliver results. We need a leader like that." He offered me the promotion quietly. I told him I'd think about it. At the time, I wasn't sure I wanted it. I liked being hands-on, close to the work. But after Tina's speech, after being told I wasn't man enough, every bit of hesitation disappeared. It wasn't about ambition anymore. It was about self-respect. The next morning, I walked into Marcus's office. "If your offer's still on the table," I said, "I accept." His smile said it all. "Welcome aboard, Director. The announcement goes out Monday." That weekend, Tina was packing, humming, carefree. She told me she was having a celebratory dinner with Chad after his big announcement on Monday. She even said, "Don't worry, David. Once Chad's director, he'll make sure you're assigned to all the top projects. He really values your technical skills." I smiled. "That's thoughtful of you." She had no idea. Monday morning, she was radiant, full of smug satisfaction, talking about her dinner plans with Chad. As I shaved, she leaned in the bathroom doorway and said, "You're good at what you do, David, but you just don't have leadership spark. Watch how Chad commands a room. You could learn something." I rinsed my razor, looked at her reflection, and said, "I'll keep that in mind." At 9 a.m., the company-wide email went out. Subject, "Announcement, new Director of Strategic Integration." I didn't even open it. I just watched her. She clicked, expecting Chad's name. Then I saw the color drain from her face. She blinked, reread it, twice. Then her head snapped up, scanning the office until her eyes met mine. I didn't smile. I didn't gloat. I just looked at her, calm, steady, unbothered. That's when she broke. She stormed toward my desk, voice trembling. "What is this? This is some kind of joke. You stole this from him." Everyone was watching. I stood slowly, quietly. "Tina," I said evenly, "this isn't the time or place. My door is always open, but please conduct yourself professionally. We have a project meeting at 10. I'll see you then." Her face turned crimson. She stammered, then spun around and stormed off. And that's when the power dynamic shifted forever. Chad didn't show his face that day. I could only imagine his meltdown when he realized he'd lost the promotion. To me. That night, Tina tried one last explosion at home. She accused me of planning this, of being vindictive. I let her rant until she ran out of words, then I said, "I didn't do this to you, Tina. I did this for me. You wanted an alpha, a leader. You made your choice. You just backed the wrong one." I walked past her, grabbed a glass of water, and said over my shoulder, "You're right about one thing. The dynamic has changed. This is my house. You'll need to move out. You have 1 week. The fight drained out of her. Reality hit. Her alpha was a failure, her dream gone, and now, so was her home. 2 weeks later, I held my first department-wide leadership meeting. Tina sat at the end of the table. Chad tried to swagger his way through a presentation for the project he'd been pushing for months. When he finished, I said, "Turn to slide 17. He froze. "Your plan requires 10,000 API calls per hour," I continued. "Our system caps at 1,000. It'll collapse." Silence. His face went red. He stammered about his consultants. "Then your consultants were wrong," I said flatly. "Project postponed. Tina, reassign your team to Phoenix Project immediately." She just nodded, pale and defeated. In 10 minutes, their power-coupled project was dismantled. Not with anger, just competence. They tried to fight back. Gossip, complaints, even subtle sabotage. But the company saw it for what it was. Professionalism versus pettiness. When a code error popped up weeks later, I traced it back to Chad's workstation. Direct evidence of tampering. Corporate sabotage. I didn't confront him. I documented everything. Timestamps, logs, IPs, and handed it to HR and Marcus. Within a week, Chad was gone, fired for gross misconduct. Tina was transferred, demoted in everything but title. A dead-end department, no influence, no respect. She resigned a month later, moved out of the city. 3 months later, my team is thriving. We've launched 2 major projects. I earn respect the right way. Not by being the loudest, but by being the most reliable. And when I look back, I realized Tina was right about one thing. She said she needed an alpha. She just never understood what that really meant. Real strength isn't in the noise you make, it's in the results you deliver. She went looking for her alpha. And in the end, she found one. She just didn't realize it was the man she left behind.